let's do this. Hello, and welcome back, pioneers, awakened souls, werewolves, divergence, and glitches, to another episode of the Daily Candle Close News. And we are live with the pioneers at the Pioneer Academy. So sending you all much love and high vibrations to wherever you may be in the matrix and galaxy. So let's do this. See if there's anybody joining us from the Discord already. Transition our screens. Let me know if you can hear this mic well. Send a hello to everyone in the chat. Let's go. We're here to raise the frequency and raise the vibrations, as we see Bitcoin has done nothing but raise our portfolios. Let's go. We'll be talking about this deeply today. Hopefully we got some pioneers joining us. Not yet. We'll get another message out to them. Tonight's discussion. Send now. Alright, we should be able to get some people joining us in here now. Maybe have some thoughts shared from around the world. Who knows? Sending you all, like I said, much love and high vibrations. We're here to lift the frequency and lift the vibrations and talk about why Bitcoin is lifting in the charts. Alright. Hello, Miss Flores. Enrique Flores, Mr. Flores. Sorry if I slaughtered the gender there. I do apologize. Thank you for joining the Discord today in the Pioneer Academy. Glad to have you. Alright. Check YouTube, make sure we're still streaming. Roy Moore, Jacob B83, glad to see you in the chat. Sending you much love. If you're viewing on YouTube and you have any questions and are not in the Pioneer Academy Discord section tonight, maybe you're at work, maybe you're visiting with family, who knows? Well, let us know a question you may have in the chat. We'll try and get to it. Alright, nice. Sup, Sweat. Sunswept, okay, beautiful name. Love it, Sunswept. Yo, beautiful people. Love it. Alright, glad to know the stream is working. We'll pull the chart back up. We see Bitcoin is pumped to 28. It had a wick all the way up to, on my charts, a high of $30,640.50. Like it matters. Who's counting though? $30,000. We'll be talking about that significance today as well when we get to the decode in just a moment. Giving some time for some people to join us. Alright, let's look at a few chat sections. Alright, make sure they're not lost in the sauce somewhere. Alright, well, they'll be able to catch the recording. Maybe more will join in just a few. They'll catch us down here. Enrique and Jacob B83, RC3 more. Everybody else viewing on YouTube. So first we'll go ahead and decode. We'll get to our favorite part of what we do here. Using numerology, gematria, astrology, the esoteric to get our move forward, because we're pioneers. We want to do what the opposite of the masses is doing. So with that being said, we're going to start off right here with AllHallowsTide. And for those that are unaware with this, maybe you've heard of Halloween. Maybe you've heard of Samhain or Samhain. Properly pronounced Samhain. But All Souls Day, or, All Hallows Eve, Mischief Night. But not many people have heard of AllHallowsTide. So we're going to be discussing this and bringing this up in the, discussion tonight. It's an 8-day ritual and event. Alright, so very important. Not a lot of people call it this anymore. Alright, so again, it's nowadays known as Halloween. So we'll be starting right here today's decode at AllHallowsTide. Very important. Got to get my notes out. But we see it is giving us that 161. And I wanted to start right there because I was seeing that today is the 16th. And it is 16 days until Bitcoin's next birthday. And yesterday, the 15th, Bitcoin's 15th birthday is 16 days away now. Well, we start to see a price rise. And, you know, I've been saying 15 every way I know possible in the last few videos, in multiple meetings with people in the Stargate Ventures community, sharing posts in other Discord communities, trying to elaborate on this importance of the 15. And we see yesterday, we start the pump that led to this wick theory that we'll be discussing today up to 30K. It started on the 15th. We rose 1.5% total on the day, tying us to the 15 again. So, I was seeing that today is 16 days away from Bitcoin's 15th birthday. And I thought that was important because we were getting 161 in AllHallowsTide, AllHallowsTide. And today, when you look at it, it is 1016, or internationally written 1610. 161 drop the 0, the 161, the 16 and the 61 all together. And today is the 16th, 16 days away from Bitcoin's birthday, you guys. So very important, because we know that, well, we're in the month of October. And Oct gives us that same 16. You see it right there in reverse reduction. But it is also, well, you know, tying us to October 16th, Monday. That's what today is. Monday, Moon Day. Moon Day, October, 16, giving us that same 61, as above so below, to today's date. So it's pretty important, 16 days away from Bitcoin's birthday, and we get this all of a sudden fake 16, news 16, 61, as above so below, around a iShares ETF, giving us that same 61, you guys. It's crazy, right? That 47, that 160 dropped to 0, it's 16. That 47 is the 15th prime number. We know Bitcoin's about to turn 15. So, I thought this was pretty scripted as to why we saw this fake news pump on this day. Remember, you show me the charts, I'll show you the news. I'll tell you what's going on. Okay, so 61, as above so below, the 150, the 51, tying us into drop to 0 to 1551 as we approach Bitcoin's 15th birthday. Irrefutable, undeniable, you guys, but we're not even done yet. So pretty important, huh? But it's tying us into the stock market. It's all ran on an algorithm. The stock market giving us that same, if I can spell correctly today, sorry. Wow, I can't see. I need to turn on the light. But the stock market gives us that same 161. Does it not? Okay. I put the C in there. But boom, sorry you guys. So sorry about that. But stock market giving us that same 161, tying us into AllHallowsTide that's coming up in 16 days. That's an 8-day celebration and ritual. Okay? So, remember, we saw a mean green candle and wick come in the charts, did we not? Giving us that same 161. So let's check that out again. A mean green right there. Definitely kept an eye on that today. All of a sudden starting to see a lot of dojis, a lot of wicks. Don't like that. So, you know, it was straight Greenville, NC, North Carolina, where I'm shooting this video from, giving us that same 161 and 53, you guys, which is the 16th prime number. You can't make it up, okay? So, just sharing with you the code and why it's so important to use it, okay? So, shout out Greenville, North Carolina. But anyways, you guys, we know this is just a test, okay? To, you know, liquidate. There was over $111 million liquidated in the last. Shout out to all you beautiful pioneers and viewers. We got Batman's Tractor, Angie. We got Jay Birch, Lisa C in the house. Luminous. Totally slaughtering that, ain't I can only see the L and I can't remember what it is, but beautiful name. Beautiful people. Shout out. I shared in the chat earlier what we were going to be discussing, and it was the $111 million liquidated in the last 24 hours. So totally a manipulation going on in the markets today on the 16th. Not surprising. This test we get in 64 is tying us to why we are seeing this narrative right now. The Israel. Alright? They're testing to see how the markets react. Sophisticated participants react. I promise you that, because this is all tied to the upcoming financial collapse that I do believe is possible. And I think even for crypto it could get affected by this, but it would be short-lived. A very wicky moment. Just like we saw this large wick to 30k, I think we can shoot down and wick right back up. So a double manipulation period where they liquidate the shorts that we're just in and maybe liquidate the longs. We can discuss that in a moment. But that same 61 tying us into the 1661 that we've been discussing. So I think it's, like I said, a Ponzi scheme. And to be careful in the markets right now. 61, that 53, which is the 16th prime number. That 47 we were getting tying us into the 15th prime, and Bitcoin's about to turn 15. So, anyways, today left 76 days into the year. And we know, well, it's all tied to Skull and Bones, pioneers, because, well, this year has been nothing but the Skull and Bones year. Got that right here. The 322 in the 2023 year. This is from Yale University, who just turned 322 years old on October 9th. Okay, so again, this is their week. You know, their month. Okay, so I do think they have a large part in players who control, manipulate the chessboard, we shall say. So we'll leave that there. But again, you know, this is a trick or treat for them. A trick or treat. Giving us that same 53, the 16th prime number. Okay, so irrefutable, undeniable. Trick or treat gives us 143. When we go back to AllHallowsTide, and you know, we do some due diligence, some research around it, right here we see that it was from Pope Sixtus LV. I forget the numeral value for that right now, but in 1430, for the whole Western Church. So that's when it was established by the Pope. Okay, so leave it to another man to tell us what to celebrate, right? But the 143 right there, I found that pretty interesting, tying me into my decode, gave me more, you know, significance as to why we were seeing this trick or treat, you know. And also today is, don't forget, October 16th, the tax deadline. So a lot of tax loss harvesting went into that wick, went into the sale of why we saw this euphoric rally today on the 16th, you guys. So pretty important, right? And this is also known as a time to remember the dead. Oh, the Fed, sorry. The dead, you guys, giving us that same 116. Today is 10/16. Drop the 0, it's 116. So pretty important, pretty unique, I thought. You know. Alright. But again, it's known as All Souls Day, so a time to remember the dead. That's where that comes in, for those that may be confused. I do want to open the floor for any questions as to, what someone may have right now. Oh. Alright. I'm going to check the YouTube chat. Feel free to unmic. Ask anything you want. You're live. Let's go. Barn Schnook. Hello, yo. DJ Mr. Good News. Grabbing his popcorn. Let's go. Let's go, Barn Schnook. Jacob V83 says he's in a Greenville too. Yes, sir. Hopefully you were not, caught off guard by this euphoric rally to the upside, this Greenville we are seeing. If there's no questions in the Pioneer Academy and Discord, then I'll, go ahead and start talking about what I'm seeing on the 2-hour time frame. If you're familiar with my videos, you okay, Bent? Okay, you can play your game if you want. You ain't gonna bother me. You guys can say hello to the boss of the Pioneer Academy. That is Bentley, my son. He's the man in charge, so I'm like gonna come and play some Fortnite. But anyways, I like to discuss here on the Pioneer Academy and the Daily Candle Close News the long wick theory and how we look for them, and it determines price action in the opposite direction a lot of the times. It's showing a sell wall, buy pressure getting exhausted, etc. What I'm seeing also is the RSI that hit a high of 88. Pretty euphoric, pretty overbought, pretty oversold. So we want to see it cool down. I mean, it can continue to ride up, but it's eventually gonna be calling for a pullback in price action, a pullback in the RSI, a pullback in the stochastic RSI. So things we need to keep in mind. I'm not seeing my moving averages pop up. Yeah, okay, there it is. It's 322 exponential. It's very faint. It's blue right below this yellow. We've had a bullish cross going all the way back to October 2nd when we started to get a downtrend in price action over the next 9-10 days. Something we were calling very adamantly coming out of this rising wedge, which had a 68% chance of a breakdown. We were getting rejection from the 702 golden pocket, the 28K horizontal trading range that goes back months. All things we've discussed, correct? So, seeing this, all these indicators, a lot of these things, this long wick theory shows me a possible short opportunity. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks right here. All green candles showing momentum, showing a potential price discovery moment right here in the short term. Before, tax loss harvesting, before a potential sell-off into the end of October, before we reach Bitcoin's birthday on the 31st. Saw win, Sam Hain. AllHallowsTide. So, something I'm interested in is this potential opportunity to come back and support one of these levels as support, either 28K and then a bounce. We don't want to buy the breakout, you guys. A lot of people on Twitter or X or Facebook and these groups that I'm in, they were wanting to get caught up in the nonsense, the minutia, the monotony. They were buying into the rumor of the ETF before they even found out it was fake, and not knowing it didn't matter to begin with, like we teach you here. So what we want to do is buy into the pullback. If we're sophisticated traders, we want to buy the support and the breakout. So we've got the breakout, now we want to buy the support. So we want to pay attention to a potential 28K or even 27,200, where we retest these potential 223, 322 exponential moving averages. Tying us into skull and bones. Today leaves 76 days left in the year, tying us into the 2023 year. So all pretty important levels that we need to pay attention to for a possible back test, because we could lose both of these levels. This indicator could flip the yellow below the blue, and depending on what narrative we see from the news, we can see everything we've just gained come right back down, because this was just a scripted moment for these elites to do tax loss harvesting, to get ready for the end of the year, October, fiscal new year, next year's finances, to move us forward. So all things that I want you to be prepared and, aware of. All right. Look over a few more things on this chart real quick, and then I'll see if anyone has any questions about it. We know we just had our solar eclipse that came in on the 14th. It shows right here on the 13th, Friday the 13th, but it was really the 14th. We know that. Pretty dull, pretty sideways, boring until the 15th, until we started to get in the early hours of the 15th. We started to rise and broke 27,200. I've been pretty adamant on that being as a level we needed to treat as support. I thought we were going to retest 24K, and it's still not at the cards yet. Even lower is possible, but this is a major level we need to keep in mind, like I've already stated. So the 15th, we've talked about its significance. Let's look at some 4 hour. Let's go to 12 daily. Yeah, I mean, we've wicked up into pretty large demand zones, both times. Right now we're closing, if we can stay closing above 28,300, 400, 28,000 even, that's pretty good. Still large wick theory. We can pull back any day now, just as retest, 27.2 like we talked about, or even lower. So potentially key right here, watching 28K. I know it's pretty hard to see, you guys. I know it's pretty ugly. Any questions about this chart? We're gonna go back to 2 hour and zoom out so anyone can see it before we move on. We've already in videos prior have talked about these 24 in meetings I've shared on Rumble with the Stargate Ventures community and others. We've talked about for 6 hours, total the last couple of weeks, talked about this move down. So there's plenty of evidence as to why now we can get it with RSI, all these things we're seeing. Evidence is in the pudding, proof is in the pudding. Alright, we got A in the house. Glad to see you. Alright, gonna go to the YouTube chat. Any questions on Mike, feel free to answer. Sending love right back at you, DC. Appreciate it, Roy Moore. With macro cycles leading into next spring of 2024, what do you see in November, December, as those months tend to be green? That's true, Roy Moore. I tend to think it will gradually rise slowly into next spring, but it would also be nice to take profits. True. Shout out to Bentley. What's up, boss man? Alright, love that. Alright, so what do I see heading into November, December, January, the beginning of the year, they say, and heading into spring of 2024, March, April. I see April, March being the cherry blossom season, practiced in Japan or Washington, D.C., anywhere cherry blossom trees grow. It being the true start of spring in the first month of the year, according to the ancient zodiacs, or according to other calendars besides the one we practice here in America, or the Gregorian if you're practicing that in other parts of the world. So all this to me is showing a true start, true beginning again, a recycle, so a true freshening. My cherry blossoms video this past March is a great example, Roy Moore. Go back and check that out. I know you viewed it, you left great comments, thank you. But it's just a refresher of what I think can happen again to the March markets, April markets coming up this year. But we can talk about that in the charts real quick. On this one right here, if we just take a measured move and we use technical analysis, nothing war narrative, nothing else decoded, if we just look at a head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame, going back to the beginning of this year, all the way back January 1st, December 31st of, end of last year, our $15,000 lows, and then what we've been in since then, a long uptrend. Okay, nothing has shown a true trend reversal just yet. Okay, except for this, what we consider to be very bearish in multiple communities online, as a where's my brush? Alright, I got it on my toolbar. That's okay. Is a Bart Simpson head pattern. We've got this going on. This long crown distributional top that has wound up to be a possible head and shoulders pattern. So, that's just something I'm paying attention to, is how this may turn out to be a possible push back down. I'm not saying the 15K, I'm just drawing right now. But yeah. I don't remember what Bart exactly looks like, but I'm going to do my best here. But that's what this could possibly be. We're going to draw him as a SpongeBob face today. But, we got our Bart Simpson head pattern going on. We can look at that. But what it is a head and patterns with technical analysis. And if we look at the measured move from, our high of the head to basically our neckline that it gives us, and we move that down, it's going to take us to 187, the penal code for murder. And I've been warning my pioneers of this number or things tied to this for quite some time, over a year now. All the way back to, if you remember, Roy Moore. Let's go back to the 2-hour time frame and go back to this, through this minutia, this monotony that you see on the chart here, which is why I don't remove it. And we go back through all of this March 10th, the beginning of the year that we just brought up, and we remember right here back in September, a little over a year ago, we were in a bull trap, the same kind of energy, right? We were in a bear flag, a bear pennant, a parallel channel that we're still in since the beginning of the year, 10 going on 11 months now, before we rolled over to 18,700, 187, the penal range, the penal code for murder, the same price range right after the Queen died. Could we get ready to see another scripted event that we've prepared you for in our July 4th welcome Madam President and a Joe Biden change, where we get ready to see him, get removed off the world stage? It's possible. Could that take us all the way back down to 18,700, 187, kind of like the penal code for murder, or just murder the charts? Could it be an alien invasion or another world lockdown, a war narrative worse than Israel because US and all these other countries get involved now? Well, who knows? That's actually should be an indicator to turn the money printer back on. But right before, in 2020, when they did that, before they turned the money printer back on, made it go burr, they gave us, an opportunity to buy if we were smart, if we were sophisticated and intelligent, if we had a thesis built, if we didn't panic. So that's just something I wanted to bring up. It's kind of like, that's what I see. Could we see this as our last opportunity to de-risk? Everybody's expecting, 50-50 of YouTubers that I watch, of other people that I watch, and communities that I spend time with. Half the people think it's going up, half the people think it's going down. We're in a time right now that's unprecedented still. Has been since 2020. And people think that the markets are supposed to follow the rules of TA, or, they've got it all figured out. I'm still here to say that I think we could still see these markets continue to do something that we've never seen them do, at least Bitcoin specifically. So history shows we've never set a low behind this dot right here, the second solar eclipse, going back 14 years. Shout out to Waters and his community and everyone for sharing that, his great artwork. But Could it do something we've never seen? Could it come down here and settle low? You know, it did that a little over 2 years ago. You know, right up here. This was our high, all-time high. And then we set a high, something we've never seen. Could we just do the same thing right here? A fake out. Go down, have a liquidation right back up. Like C19, which is kind of what I'm thinking, but it needs to happen soon. This kind of needs to be a double fake out moment, or this could come down, hold support, and climb right back up, is what I'm thinking. So we could, like you said, slowly but surely climb, stay sideways, come down, hold support, all the way to spring next year. That's a possibility. I do think it is. But me right now, I'm staying cautious with everything I'm seeing on the world stage, with what the charts are showing me, with what I've been calling for with the 24,000 possible dollar Bitcoin since the start of Libra. And I've got great code out there showing why I think this. But I just think it's possible, you guys. But it does need to happen soon, within the next few days. So let's check out the chat. Hopefully, let me know if that helps you out some. Alright, how's everyone doing in the Discord? Check the chat over there. We got a chat, no chat? Okay, alright. We got another chart we're going to look at if nobody has any questions in the Discord. Thank you all for coming and viewing, hanging out with us the last 30 minutes of your Monday Moon Day. TA is what we're going to call this one. Our first live with the Pioneer Academy in Discord. Going live on YouTube as well for everybody that couldn't make it. That's not a paid member of the Discord yet. So everyone that came in today, love you all. That one's on me. And to everyone viewing, if you want to become a member, descriptions in the comment section of this video, in the description of this video. $2.23. You can Cash App or PayPal me. It's a one-time access for lifetime purchase, and I stay very active, or try to be, and we'll try to be even more now, and start doing these lives within the community together. Alright, we were checking the chat. That's what we were doing. Good. Everything's good. One more chart, and it's this one right here, you guys. Everything today was about the decode I found around Samhain, Halloween, or, you know, AllHallowsTide, the Halloween ritual around Bitcoin. And if we go back 13, 14 years, all the way to 2009, 2008, when Bitcoin came out on October 31st, but they didn't tell you about it till January 3rd, okay? So, anyways, we see right here, we're on the 1 month time frame, and we're going back to January 1st, or June 1st, 2011, the 111, you know, very specific date. Bitcoin hit its top on November 10th, 111, 2 years ago, almost. So, you know, kind of see the symbolic reference here to why these things happen. It's all by a code, right? But we pump up to that high we got then. I don't even remember what it was. $34. Wow. Before we saw a 93% correction. We all know the connection there to that 93. We know Bitcoin is tied to Saturn and Satoshi Nakamoto. Ooh, what is that? Close. Oh, man. Well, you guys, I hope you took a screenshot. Rewind the video, take a screenshot. I lost everything down there. It's all good. Select base. Oh, we went to Greek. Calculator. Anyways. Trying to do this for those that are new viewing, or new to decoding. But Saturn giving us that same 93. Bitcoin had a 93% pullback after it hit $34, right? Alright, so cool. Not surprising there. It's not uncommon to see cryptos get a 93% pullback. We know this. But it pulled back right into, well, what is that? November 1st, the 111 day. Okay, so it hit the high on 111, pulled back into 111, and October 31st was basically gonna show our low was in. So we're getting a low around Bitcoin's birthday, or coming out of a low around the 3rd, 4th week of October, November so far, right? This is one time. Stochastic RSI on the monthly is showing a flip, showing a pullback which is why, again, we got the pullback of 93%. So let's zoom in. Let's go even closer to the next rally we saw for Bitcoin. Okay, the next stock, RSI,